Hey, this is Mike Rogers here in Cleburne. People sometimes ask me, what is my most interesting case that I've ever handled? I've handled something like 60,000 cases in my career, so I've got a lot to pick from. But one of the most interesting ones was a murder case. Obviously, I don't name names because all of that's confidential, but I had a young man who was charged with murder. He lived in a trailer park. One evening, there was a ruckus going on, and he went outside, and there was a man that was vandalizing vehicles there in the park. He went back inside, he got his gun, and he killed the guy that was doing all of the havoc. My client was charged with murder, and we had a full-blown jury trial here in Cleburne. And in the end, the fellow was acquitted by the jury. But it was a tough case. It was a peculiar case. There were a lot of mitigating facts and circumstances. The fellow that he killed, after a toxicology tests were done, was under the influence of alcohol and other drugs. My client really felt like that he had some weapon and felt like he had to do what he did, and that was to shoot him. But he got charged with murder. But in a very bizarre set of facts, one of the officers that investigated this case seized a lot of property there as evidence, but he didn't check it into the property room with the sheriff's department. He kept it in the back of his patrol car, seriously, for well over a year. And you've got to maintain chain of control, chain of custody on evidence that's going to be presented in a court proceeding. So it turns out that the state was hamstrung somewhat because of the fact that that deputy didn't do his job properly. And interestingly, we had an expert who at that time was the chief of police in Dalworthington, Texas, right outside of Fort Worth, who's now, this guy that was our expert is now the sheriff of Tarrant County. And he was our expert, and he testified, hey, look, this case was not handled properly. So in the end, my client was acquitted, and I was glad he was acquitted because it would have been really unfair to put this guy away for perhaps his entire life. It was an unfortunate episode. Things like that happen. The fellow that was killed, wrong place, wrong time, wrong circumstance. Old story, but he put himself in a world of hurt by doing what he was doing. So anyway, that's what happened, and that was one of my most interesting cases that I ever handled. So if you need a lawyer, remember, you get a free consultation here at our office. Doesn't cost you anything to come down here and talk to us. So if you need a lawyer, give us a call. Come down. We'll see what we can do to help you out.